Hey everyone, welcome to our joint webinar with Juniper Systems and Point One. I really appreciate you all joining us this morning, wherever you are in the world. My name is Don Pratt. I'm a product marketing manager at Point One. And I'm here to make sure that everything goes smoothly. So I'm going to kick it over to Trevor to introduce himself a little bit.
Hi, thanks, Don. Thanks everyone for joining this webinar. My name is Trevor Brown. I'm product manager here at Juniper Systems.
Thanks, Trevor. And Chris.
I'm Chris Dima, a part of the customer success team at Point One, and over the last 3 years, I've been helping robotics companies, utility locators, survey groups achieve centimeter level accuracy in the field and at scale.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. And Trevor, I'm gonna actually hand it over to you and let you kind of describe what we're gonna talk about today.
Sounds good. The title of today's webinar is Just Push Play for RTK, and this is a new product that we're introducing today. So we're really excited over here at the Juniper Systems factory. For those of you that don't know Juniper Systems, I'm going to give a brief introduction. We are a US-based manufacturer of ultra rugged Windows and Android tablets, high precision GNSS receivers, as well as mapping and data collection software. Our products support a wide range of different industries and applications. We are really passionate and get excited about field data collection, mapping. We have a lot of interesting customer applications, and we like to kind of live vicariously through those customers and the cool things that they're doing with our products. Here's a few pictures of our factory headquarters. We are broadcasting here from our factory headquarters in Logan, Utah. If you don't know where that is, it's about an hour and a half north of Salt Lake City in the mountains to University Town. Here is where we have all of our design, engineering. We support all of our products from this factory here, and we also manufacture a lot of our products here right at our facilities. So it's all kind of a one-stop shop. You can kind of we manufacture our products and support it all from the same spot. All right, going to kind of move on now. This is what the kind of the most important part of our webinar is that this new product, Juniper RTK, it's powered by Point One navigation, and Point One has been a great partner to work with throughout introducing this product, and I've had a great experience working with them, and really it's been proud to kind of collaborate on this. And let's talk about Juniper RTK and what it is. So kind of at a high level, it's a globally available network RTK correction service. So depending where you're working, you can either get 1 to 3 centimeter accuracy or what we call less than 10 centimeter accuracy. And we're going to talk some details about that and when you'll get which accuracy and when you'll get the other. Everything you're going to learn today is compatible with our Juniper Systems RTK capable receivers. And we have a few of those. We have a new one launching today as well. The official launch, I believe, is tomorrow, but it's our Spire new GNSS receiver. We're really excited about this receiver and making this available to our customers. It's RTK ready out of the box. It's just a really good solution that works with the Juniper RTK and the Point One solution. We also have our very popular Geode GNSS. This one is kind of tried and true, and it's used in all over the world for a lot of different applications. It's also RTK capable, as well as our Archer 4 with GNSS pod. So if you're looking for sort of an integrated solution for a mobile device and RTK receiver all in one, Archer 4 with GNSS pod is great. All of this works with Juniper Systems software as well. So we're going to have a demonstration later with our Uinta mapping software, as well as our Juniper Connect software. Our Juniper Connect software is the software utility that you use RTK with when you want to serve it to your own mapping software, such as Esri Field Maps is a pretty common one that are used with our products. All right. Why did we build all of this? Really, one of the biggest support calls that we get related to RTK from our customers is just that we often get customers that are kind of not familiar with how to set up their RTK. They don't often know which RTK network that they should use in their location where they're working. So it's not always clear which RTK network they should be using. A lot of times our customers have some setup challenges as well. There's a lot of terms that are not familiar to them. Things like mount points, caster addresses, Which port do I enter? These are kind of things that you need to do to set up a traditional RTK network, and we really wanted to kind of eliminate that. Also, a lot of our customers just want to have a total solution. They don't want to buy a RTK subscription or RTK receiver or software from different sources. They just want to buy something that one-stop shop. They buy all of that, and it's just a solution that just works. So those are kind of the traditional support calls that we get from our customers here at the factory. And what we did to solve this is we worked with Point One and we created this Juniper RTK network. And what you see on the left here is the Juniper Connect utility software that I mentioned earlier. And on the right is the Uinta Mapping software. And this is just the GNSS connection screen. But previously, the question was, what RTK network should I use where I'm working, or how do I switch between RTK networks? This problem goes away with this solution, because this solution just works everywhere. Anywhere you have internet, it's going to work for you. So no need to figure out which RTK network is best. We solved that for you, and it's just embedded into our product. The next kind of thing is, okay, how do I set up and configure my RTK network? A lot of terms that are not familiar to customers. In this case, we wanted to just eliminate that as well. You have a username and password. You log in once. You don't need to keep logging in, and then it just works. You just push play for RTK, and that's that kind of just play and stop button. That's all it takes. And we're going to demonstrate that here in a little bit. And then the last thing, now that we have this Juniper RTK service that works with our products, you can just get all of your products in one place, get your RTK receiver, your mobile device, as well as your RTK service through Juniper RTK. All right.
Trevor, before the demo, can you give us some insight into how long this was a consideration for Juniper? Is it something that jumped on your desk a year ago to consider, or has this been a 5-year consideration?
Yeah, good question. So we've built different components to support RTK for quite a while now, so several years. The Geode, for example, for a long time has had RTK capability, but it was up to our customers to kind of go out and figure out what software should they pair this with. What RTK network would work best for where they're working. And so for a long time, we really wanted to kind of complete that total solution. And so it was about a year ago that we started talking to Point One, and really started our development process less than a year ago, and integrated and embedded this right into our products. And so it's been relatively recent that we sort of decided on a solution and kind of deployed that with Point One. Good question.
Thanks.
All right. So talking about Juniper RTK, but what I really like is to demonstrate how it works and how easy it is to get centimeter level accuracy. This photo I just snapped on my way home from work one day. We'll do this quick demo in the context of mapping a sewer manhole and mapping a sanitary sewer line as well. So what I did is I just recorded with my phone outside, did a screen capture of how Juniper RTK works with our new Spire receiver as well as our Uinta software. So what I'm going to do with this demo is switch over, and we're just going to play this. So here we are at the factory. I wanted to kind of show the environment that I was working with. This is not just some controlled environment where we had like everything set up perfectly. I just walked outside, turned on the Spire receiver, connected to it through Bluetooth, and then pushed play for RTK, and I was able to start mapping. So I'm going to play this and kind of explain a little bit what I did and going on. So here we are at the factory, and I kind of just wanted to show. All I did is I have our Spire receiver. I pushed the start button, turned it on. It's just sitting on our mailbox. Now, what you see here is this is our Uinta software. Uinta software is a easy to use, customizable mapping and field data collection software. So you don't have to be an expert at surveying or GIS to use this software. Anyone can use it, and anyone can get centimeter level accuracy very fast. So what I have on my screen is a lot of different projects in my role. This is used in a lot of different industries, and I've kind of organized those by folders. I'm going to select this utilities folder because I have a sample project in there. I could have started a new project, but in this case, I have a project with some existing utilities that are mapped. So we're going to go ahead and start that here, and I'll show you here in just a moment as I record my screen from yesterday here. So what you see now is there's my sample project. I started it, and it just opens to a map view. And I haven't connected my GPS yet. I wanted you to kind of see the whole experience, that this was not something that I had to pre-set up and do a lot of careful preparation to start. So this is a pretty typical situation. A customer might just jump out of their truck to get mapping some utilities or other things. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select Manage GPS and connect to my GPS receiver. And that's going to be the new Spire GNSS receiver. So there it is. I'm going to, in a moment, there I selected connect. And this is the Bluetooth connection to the Spire receiver. So I just turned on the receiver. I said connect, and it's just pairing just like it would a headset. Let me go ahead and continue playing this little video. All right. So the next thing you see, the first thing you see out of the box is this receiver connected through Bluetooth. And what you see out of the box, the Spire receiver already is going to start tracking WAS and SBAS satellites, and it's going to give you a very high level of accuracy just out of the box with no subscriptions. It's going to get you about a foot to a foot and a half. And that's a great solution for a lot of customers and what they're doing. But in our case, we want centimeter level accuracy. So a lot of our customers want to be able to map with the highest degree of accuracy. And I want to show you how easy that was. So remember, all we did is we opened up Uinta, pushed connect through Bluetooth, and it connected to the receiver through Bluetooth very fast. It gave you a fast solution to about a foot and a half accuracy. And notice this play button here is there. Because I have a subscription to Juniper RTK powered by Point One associated to my account, all I have to do is push play and everything just works. No additional setup. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and push play. And what you're going to watch is this accuracy value. Notice it's sitting there at about, just over a foot. But once I push play, which I haven't done yet, so just a moment in the video, it's going to push play. There I pushed play. Watch that accuracy value here. It's still sitting. It hasn't got its fix yet. But now right there, you see 1.4 centimeters. That's exciting for a lot of our customers. You just push play and suddenly you're down to centimeter accuracy. So it works really great and very easy to use. So the next part of this little demo is now I'm going to go out and just do a little work, or pretend to do some work anyway. I'm going to map a sewer manhole as well as map a short distance on the sewer line as well. So what I'm going to do is close this sort of GPS connection screen, and then I'm ready to map. So I kind of left it on the screen for a moment when I recorded it. In a moment, I will select that X. Now you see my position. You always see your accuracy here when you're out mapping. So there's 1.4 centimeters. There's my position. It's still sitting on that mailbox. Now I'm starting to move over to that manhole. So you see me kind of moving over there. Once I get to that manhole, I stopped. And with all mapping, you just take your receiver, you put it over the thing you want to map, or the utility in this case, which is a manhole. So now I'm positioned over that manhole. Usually a customer would be out using like a survey pole, or they can carry it in their hand. There's a little accessory we have for that. And so now I'm getting ready to map something. Anytime you want to map something, you just press the orange plus button, and I'm going to go ahead and do that here in just a moment. Now, Uinta, remember I said, is a customizable software. This is our standard utility template. It's available. You can start a project based on that template, and it's very easy to tweak it to match the job that you're doing to the things that are important for your job. So you just know that anything you see in this screen is customizable. I'm going to kind of keep moving on. I'm going to select the sewer group of assets that I have there. Anything you see here is customizable. And in this case, I'm going to map an asset. The moment I select that manhole, it's going to map that position. There, I selected it. The position is already captured. This is a form that now I can enter information about that manhole. And this is also customizable. So you can create this template in advance. In my case, I added a little bit of customization. I wanted to enter the type of manhole that it was. And I just gave it a generic A, B, or C. In this case, I'm going to select type. There it is. I selected A. If I want to capture a photo of that asset as well, I can. There I am. Just took a little picture of the manhole. I like that picture. And you can kind of scroll down and see that the positional information was already captured. I saved that record, and now I already have my manhole mapped. It's as easy as that. So you just open Uinta, start your project, connect to your receiver, start RTK, and now you're ready to map. There we've got a manhole already mapped, and it was mapped with a very high degree of accuracy. Now I'm going to show the sewer line being mapped. So maybe it starts at this manhole, and I'm going to pretend that it moves down the street, which in this case it actually does. So I'm going to just map a little bit just to see how a line mapping works. All right. So I now again select the sewer category. I select the sanitary sewer line. Now with a line, you can have, there's two methods to capture that line. You can do it in an automatic method where it sort of tracks you like a track log. But in this case, for any kind of sewer mapping, we, you want a straight line. So we use the manual method. I want to pick when those points get added to the line because I can go to the beginning of the line and then to the end of the line, and that's going to be a highly accurate position. So once I'm ready, I'm just going to say start. So I'm going to push that. I'm ready to start mapping this line. I'm going to select this little add button right here, and that's going to allow me to add points to the line. I select the first point is captured. Now I just need to walk to the end of that line or maybe where that line starts to T. Super easy to use here. So I'm going to pretend it stops right here. I'm going to add another point to the line in just a moment. There it is. And I'm going to finish that. I can also enter information about that manhole if I want. These are, again, if you have some kind of paper form that you need to fill out about these different assets, you can essentially recreate those paper data entry forms in Uinta software. So you can standardize how you collect data and so that it's all digital. So there it is. I selected, this is maybe it's a PVC pipe. Maybe the size is a 24-inch pipe. Maybe repair is needed or not. But now I just save it. And now you can see already that we have the manhole in the line. So this is just a really quick demonstration to show how you can quickly get up and running and map with centimeter grade accuracy. And that's the end of this little small demo. Let me switch back to the next slide.
I just want to jump in here, Trevor, and just kind of double down on this workflow being just an insane level of optimization, especially compared to how we used to operate in the field, right? It used to be a paint can on maybe asphalt, maybe snow, maybe rain. It used to be paper maps, and then having to send it to the back office, and maybe it gets lost in translation, or maybe use the wrong datum. So this is just like an incredible, quantum leap forward in how we're doing things, where you have this like digital twin that now exists in the cloud, and it's so easy to gather. Can you add a little bit of color there, Trevor? And just I'm just amazed by how simple it is.
Yeah, and that's the part we kind of recognize that a lot of our customers we say are sort of experts at other things. They're experts at mapping utilities. They're experts at excavation or different things. We really wanted this part of their job to be simple and kind of remove that hassle. And a lot of that is we also wanted our customers to be just proud of their work. We recognize in a lot of cases, in particular with utilities, a lot of times they'll go out and they have all this expertise in finding and mapping utilities, and they'll put that paint on the ground. And we wanted them to be able to capture that information and really be able to share that with their customers and have something that they can be proud with. And the other thing you mentioned was with Uinta software, we recognize there's kind of sometimes a challenge on sharing that data with their customers or back with the office. And so with Uinta software, this person that mapped out in the field, this project is a cloud project. It automatically shares to the cloud as they're mapping. They don't have to do anything. And this project Uinta software is also working in the office. And there's the same exact project in the office that sees this data being transferred and mapped in real time. So you could look at this same project in the office for an office user, for example, and they would see that this data was just mapped because that cloud sync is happening back and forth. So we really wanted to just kind of recognize that, just getting out and mapping that utility is not the only part of the job that the customer is trying to do. They're trying to share it back with the office and share it with their customers. So, yeah.
Trevor,
Yeah.
To add a little onto that, or to ask another question, you mentioned that the default is a foot and a half. What do you think the adoption is going to be? Are people chomping at the bit to get access to centimeter accurate location, or do you expect it to be a slow uptake, or do you think the adoption will be fast?
Yeah, good question. What we've seen in the past is historically customers, they have to kind of find a balance between accuracy and just ease of use in a practical workflow. And so historically, SBAS, so satellite-based augmentation system, those kind of free correction satellites that are up in the sky that you can lock onto, and most in in a lot of regions around the world. That balance, customers were kind of gravitating towards that solution, but they were wishing that they could get a higher level of accuracy. And in some cases, in particular with things like utilities, what you see is that you're starting to see some requirements that they have a higher level of accuracy, because those folks that are receiving this data, they want to know that those utilities are mapped with a high degree of accuracy. So as you can imagine, if you're going to go and start digging something up under the ground, or locating those assets, you really want to know that they're located where they are. And so what we see with, to your question about the uptake, what we see now is that with how easy it is to get centimeter level accuracy, especially in a way that we just demonstrated here, we see that adoption happening faster. And because that balance now is, not only do I have to sacrifice the accuracy, I could get that very quickly and still get out and map it in a practical way. That's a good question.
Yeah, and we're seeing states like California and some DOTs across the country like mandate the higher level accuracy when doing projects or mapping utilities. Are you familiar with some of those trends, or do you have any insight into municipal or government mandates?
Yes, and we hear that first often through some of our customers that call in looking for a practical solution to map at a high degree of accuracy. So, I think it's important to note that none of this is expected to that what I'm demonstrating here, at least, is expected to replace the need for a traditional survey when you're doing maybe legal boundary mapping and those types of things. That need is still out there, but for users that want more control, they don't want to depend on others to come out and map with that high degree of accuracy. What this really kind of demonstrates is that they have that control themselves to go and map, and then when they're going and they get that contract with a DOT or state or other kind of agencies related to that, they're sort of being mandated to still have that level of accuracy, and they want a solution that's practical, but that allows them to get that accuracy to meet that. And so, yes, we are seeing that trend increase with different state mandates, for example, in North America, but it also exists outside of even the utility market segment. We're starting to see some of those mandates evolve into things like wetland delineations and other kind of things of that nature as well.
Thank you.
All right, let's keep moving here. So this all works great. It's very easy to use. What do you need to get started? Really, there's kind of four components. We mentioned already, you need a Juniper RTK subscription. You need Juniper system software. So either Uinta mapping and data collection software, or if you have your own software, then you would use our Juniper Connect utility to serve that RTK data to your mapping software. You also need an internet connection. So this works wherever you have an internet connection. And you also need a Juniper Systems RTK capable receiver. And we have those three options there. We'll talk a little more about those in just a moment here. Let's talk about those receivers. So this is our Geode. It's always been, for a long time, probably my most favorite product that we built here at Juniper Systems. It works great. It has both, you can map with SBAS, so that's similar to what I demonstrated earlier, so you can get SBAS corrections. It also has Galileo high accuracy service capability. And that gets you an even higher level of accuracy, but it's still not that sweet spot of the RTK capable centimeter receiver. And that's where, when you have a Juniper RTK subscription, the Geode works great. Anything you see in this webinar will work great with the Geode as well. And there's the Archer 4. So if you want a kind of more compact solution where you have a ruggedized mobile, ruggedized Android device with a big swappable battery in the back, high visibility screen, the Archer 4 is great. And it has the RTK capable expansion pod there you see. So this is for that user who really wants to have that sort of integrated solution. And it's very cost effective as well. And it also is capable of doing everything that you see in this webinar. All right, and then here's our new one, the Spire. I expect this is going to be my new favorite. This is going to be launching, like we said, tomorrow. The factory is really excited about this. A shout out to our product team, marketing, everybody involved with making this come to fruition. This is it's an affordable RTK solution out of the box and works great. All right. We have then the other two components. We have the Juniper system software, as I mentioned and demonstrated earlier, Uinta Mapping software. So if you're not familiar with, GIS and CAD and all those kind of things, Uinta is a great solution. It's, anybody can use it. And it's meant to play nice with GIS systems and CAD systems. So you can import layers, you can export layers to common file formats and share it with others. And then on the left, as I mentioned, we have our Juniper Connect utility software to serve to other mapping applications as well. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Chris now, and he's going to talk about Point One RTK.
Yeah, thank you, Trevor. So Point One is approaching its 10th year providing RTK as a service. So if you're new to RTK, that's 100 times better than GNSS. We've got two networks, True Network, and you see those dots on the map to the right. Those are our base stations. If you're within 50 kilometers of the dot at the center, you'll get 1 to 3 centimeters. Outside of that, we've got our virtual network, which is about 10 centimeters. We're covering 100% of the US and a large amount of Europe. You can go to the next slide. We've got over 4,000 base stations globally. The yellow dots are our North American network. And those white dots are base stations that are going to be deployed in the next 60 days. So we're doing about 50 new base stations a month, but we're going extra crazy this spring to densify the network east of the Mississippi. We are really a hardware and software company and geospatial company. So early on, we thought about rolling up existing networks, but we decided that building our own base station was the best way to manage quality and ensure the consistency of service. We're on our 4th generation base station. Let's go to the next slide. And this,
just a comment there, Chris. That was definitely one of the key factors for us to choose Point One to work with. Is that we definitely recognize there's some momentum and have some excitement about just the expansion of this network and the coverage that we are able to see. So good job there.
Yeah, thanks for highlighting that. And this is the one I thought you were going to say was the key, is our API. We've always been an API first company, and our GraphQL API really enabled you to develop this integration quickly and efficiently. The GraphQL features that it's a single endpoint, low infrastructure, easy to iterate on. But the ethos of it is that, and we've always been targeting hardware companies and geospatial applications to achieve scale, like to provide RTK at scale. That's a differentiator that we've been focused on and has been really maturing in the last few years. We do service.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. I was just gonna say, sorry to interrupt. This was definitely a big appeal for us as well. From a developer perspective, Point One has been very easy to work with, and this GraphQL platform was really easy for our developers, and I know it got a lot of positive comments.
Yeah, thank you. So traditionally, we'll release features via the API and then roll them up into our web application. But with the API, you can get real-time observability, not just the device, but the network. Some features that came out just this year is being able to set dynamic data rates, pick your signals, develop profiles that you can deploy for subsets of devices. And really, that what you're doing is the custom provisioning, credentials management, pushing everything down so that you're eliminating in-field manipulation, input fields. That really is the most compelling factor of your implementation. But one thing that we kind of missed is you developed a fallback so that if someone's out of range of true RTK, it'll default or it'll move programmatically or automatically to hit virtual RTK. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And that's, all of this, I look at this from an end user perspective. It's like, this is what enabled us to just push play. It all works. You don't have to go in and manage and choose base stations and all of that. So this really enabled us to kind of make it really a user-friendly experience for those for our customers that all need that.
Yeah, I'd say maybe a year ago, we were getting a lot of companies that said, oh, just having one provider nationally, consistent service is a game changer. But there's still a requirement to do things in the field. And you eliminating that sets the bar. I think the new norm is you take the device out, it's already connected. You don't have to fuss. You don't have to lose time or money. So I'm really impressed with your integration and the speed of the deployment of the integration. And so, was there anything else? Do you have any feedback from the development team on any particular aspect of the API or some future features that you're considering?
Yeah, we almost saying because the main feedback was just how easy it was. I didn't necessarily have to hear a lot of challenges that they had because it just worked, and that's really what we were going for. And we really loved that the ability to kind of see credentials, who was able to log in, and those kind of things. And it just was a really overall easy experience. So nothing but good comments from our developer team for sure. Right.
All right.
Anything more on this? All right.
No.
Thanks, Chris. All right. So we talked about centimeter level precision, less than 10 centimeter level precision. We wanted to validate that to make and give ourselves confidence that that actually is the case. And we wanted to be able to communicate that to customers confidently that they're going to be able to get those. So we did a lot of testing with all of this. What I'm showing here is a sample of some of that testing that we did. So with what Chris mentioned a moment ago, when you are within 50 kilometers of the base or about 30 miles, we consistently see 1 to 3 centimeters. And that's what this shows here. I get really excited about this data. We also didn't want to just show this in a very controlled environment where we wanted to test this in ways that our users would actually use this. So sometimes users have polls. They're going out, they put a survey poll on a position. Other times they might carry it in their hand. So, there's potential obstruction from your body and other kind of environmental factors. Also, we wanted to test it where sometimes customers will just go capture a quick point on a 1-second occupation. Other times they may want to sit there and average a point for 60 seconds. And so what this data represents, the different colors, is a very high level of precision. You can and accuracy. You can see that data cluster around that radius. Now, what that radius reflects is root mean square error. So 65% of the time, with high confidence, you're going to get 1.5 centimeters. And then the national standard for spatial data accuracy is always the kind of method that when we test for these things, we always want to test with a really high level of confidence. So we run it through a very standardized test method. And at that 95% kind of 2 sigma accuracy, we're seeing less than 3 centimeters. So we feel very good to say a 1 to 3 centimeter solution when you are within 30 miles from a base station, and there's a lot of those base stations everywhere. And so anyway, we're really happy with those results. And I mean, regularly, I'm just impressed at the accuracy that we're able to achieve with that. All right. Now, the other scenario for our customers. Remember, there's kind of two technical methods that point one does to achieve this level of accuracy. And what we wanted to do, Chris mentioned it earlier, but we wanted to just allow the user to have the best accuracy possible. You don't have to choose between these two methods. Just depending where you're working, is automatically going to select that for you. And in the case where you're farther than 50 kilometers from one of those base stations, or farther than 30 miles about, you also are going to get an excellent solution. So less than 10 centimeters. And it's what we're seeing is, with a high degree of confidence, it's well below 10 centimeters. And this graph here, it is more scattered looking, but it's just because I'm a little more zoomed out. But this solution is still excellent. Each one of these grids is 1 centimeter accuracy. So the majority, the green circle, the root mean square radius, you're going to be getting in that 3 to 4 centimeter range most of the time. When you're talking 95%, you're still within that 6 centimeter about range. And so, we're really feeling good. Even if you're a far distance from one of those base stations, it's impressive what Point One's been able to do. And so, yeah, we feel really good about this data, and we get really excited about that. All right. And this is what I alluded to earlier. When you buy Juniper RTK, you just get the best RTK fix wherever you work. It just automatically switches between, the fix and that kind of virtual solution there. And we just do that. It just kind of switches between you. And one thing you want, if you're kind of considering this and you want to see what type of accuracy should I expect when I get Juniper RTK, we do have an interactive map on our Juniper RTK product page. You can kind of zoom in there and see, your expected work location and kind of get an idea of, what accuracy you should expect. And by the way, we did take that interactive web map and just directly from Point One. So it's just embedded into our website, just like their Point One solution is embedded into our software.
Yeah,
All right.
that map will update automatically. So as we add new base stations, you can see the coverage, which is super nice.
That's great. All right. Another big part of what we did with this Juniper RTK licensing, we know that licensing can be a challenge with a lot of our customers as well. And so we really wanted to make this licensing flexible, recognizing how our customers use RTK and all of that. So first point is that RTK licenses, these can be shared. So if you have a couple of users, maybe they're both not always using it at the same time, that license is pretty easy to share. Remember, it's associated to a username and password. So that license just works wherever you're logged in. It's not associated to that device. Now, we wanted to make it even more flexible. That device, so when you get a license, you can have one device per username and password, or we've given you flexibility to, if you had multiple RTK licenses, to have many devices that share the same login. So for example, we know from a lot of our users that maybe you have a large field crew that are out working and everything. We don't want to put our customers in the business of managing a bunch of usernames and passwords. So we give them the ability to kind of allow for multiple devices to get logged in with the same login credentials to kind of eliminate that hassle. And we allow that to be done both automatically within the app, but we also give admins this web license manager tool. And what that does is allows, we know that there's some employees that may come and go from an organization, and we just really allow the users to sort of the admin to assign and revoke those licenses. And in that same tool, you can assign how many devices can be used for the same login credential as well. So there's a lot of flexibility in how those licenses are managed, and it's often a feature that customers don't really appreciate till they get into the actual details of it, and they need that feature. It's really easy to manage licenses and super flexible. All right, how much does it all cost? I'm sure everyone wants to know. We sell it currently as a 1-year subscription or a 3-year subscription. So here you see the 1-year price, $1,200. That's a solid, an excellent price for what you get at this level of accuracy, especially compared to alternatives. And you have a 3-year price of $3,300. So you can get a little discount if you choose to buy the 3-year option. Then you don't have to mess with your subscription every single year in renewing that. However, I really wanted to mention that you can save a lot of money if you buy through one of our Juniper Systems dealer partners. So we do have dealer partners all around the world, and if you buy through one of them, you can save hundreds of dollars when you buy Juniper RTK. So if you have any questions about who's the dealer partner in your area, you can visit our website. We have a lot of information about that. And here is a QR code that you can scan, and it'll take you right to our new product page. And there you can find dealers and talk to us about, what's the best dealer to support you where you are. But I just want you to know, and another kind of comment for our dealers, they're excellent and they know our products inside and out, and they're excellent solution providers. So they know a lot about different data collection solutions and what receiver is best for the type of job that you're doing. But you also can call our factory. All of our customers can call our factory and get support in real time and talk to a real person. So I just wanted to make sure that was clear. All right, so that really concludes the slide portion of our webinar. But I think now we're going to kind of switch over to if there's any questions out there.
Yeah, Trevor, we got a ton of questions and they're really, really good. So we'll try to get through as many as possible. But please, please reach out to us if we didn't get to your question. We love talking shop, whether it's Juniper Systems or Point One. So don't be shy if we didn't get to your question. But I'm going to just start right away. This one is actually for Trevor. Is an internet connection needed, and is data needed for mobile devices within an industrial environment when you're trying to connect to that RTK?
Yeah, good question. So in order to get the centimeter level solution through a network RTK, you do need internet connection. But what we see is that, and what we've done in in all of this solution is that essentially, if you have an internet connection, and we recognize a lot of our customers work in sort of spotty internet environments, we have sort of a fallback correction source that's embedded in the software. So you don't have to do anything special. If you're able to connect to the to the Juniper RTK network, you'll get centimeter level solution. But then if you move out or you don't have internet connection, it's going to fall back to the best solution that's available. So in depending on the receiver that you have, like maybe it has Galileo high accuracy service, it may fall back to a 20 meter solution, or a 20 centimeter, not 20 meter, 20 centimeter solution. And then if, and there's a case with all of our receivers, it will fall back to that SFAST solution. But you do need an internet connection in order to get that centimeter level solution. And then there was a question about the industrial. What part of it? Can you repeat that part again?
Yeah, it was just asking about is data needed for mobile devices within an industrial environment?
Oh yeah. So depending on the details of what they're asking there, if you're in an industrial environment and maybe you have obstructions from different buildings and all of that, it still works with that internet connection, and you can collect data, and you can still if you have specific, remember the form that you're filling out about the different assets that I was visiting. We have a lot of customers working. It's one of our larger customer bases is working in industrial environments, doing asset rounds, inspections, those types of things. And so, yeah, data is needed in those environments too.
I'll jump in and say, a year ago, a lot of people were asking about Starlink as a solution to fill in those areas where there was low cell service. And nowadays I'll talk to people and they've got Starlink on all their crews, all their trucks ready to go. So that's changed a lot, and made RTK available in truly 100% of the US.
Yeah, I was just going to add that as a follow-up question. Totally. Sorry to interrupt you there, Chris. But yeah, that was going to be my follow-up question about remote areas. I saw a couple of questions in the chat about places with no internet, and Starlink has been a really good use case for that. Okay, I'm gonna move on. What about so there's a lot of questions here about the accuracy that's shown on the Juniper app. Is that horizontal and vertical? And if so, how is that displayed?
Good question. The little demo that I had, I just by default, it displays the horizontal accuracy, and that's coming through the NMEA strings. We're able to see that, and the test data that I showed is the accuracy that you're actually going to see when you compare it to like a survey monument, for example. So there is when you see that accuracy, that accuracy is a really good guide. But when I saw 1.4 centimeters, it's possible that it was really 2 centimeters. So, there's a little bit of difference between the displayed accuracy that's coming through the NMEA strings, and when you compare that to an actual monument, there's a slight difference there.
Awesome. This is a quick one. Which datum is there?
A little bit. Sorry, I meant to add on to that. So that within Uinta, you can display the horizontal accuracy. You can also display the vertical accuracy as well. So that value there is configurable. You can tap it and say, "Hey, also show me the vertical level accuracy as well." So that's going to also display the vertical accuracy as well in the app.
Awesome. Yeah, and does it also display latitude and longitude?
Yeah, you can switch it. So consider that little accuracy value that you see at the bottom of when you're out mapping. It's configurable to display your lat long, your vertical accuracy, your horizontal plus vertical accuracy. So you can kind of configure it to display those different values.
Nice. This one's for Chris. You mentioned east of the Mississippi expansion. What are your plans for west expansion, like Colorado, Wyoming, Montana?
Well, our normal expansion is about 50 a month scattered across the US. I'll check with the network team and give you some insight. I don't have those mapped out. We have the publicly available 60-day expansion, so you could see that. Don, do we make that public?
Yeah, it's on our coverage map. I can share that in the chat.
That's a good way to look at 60 days. But as far as 2026, I can get some more detail and communicate that via email.
Yeah, and I would just add that we travel regularly regionally here close. We're in northern Utah on the Idaho border, and everywhere, even in what I would consider remote locations where I'm still able to get internet, it's been still giving me the same results. And that's Idaho, Montana, those areas. So even today, it's been working great for me in places where I can still get internet. And to hear that expansion's growing even more, that's great.
Awesome. I think we have time for like one or two more. I want to be cognizant of everyone's time here. This is a question from Jimmy. What vertical accuracy can you expect with that 1 to 3 centimeter horizontal accuracy? This is probably a better question for Chris.
Sorry, I was looking for another gem of a question I wanted to fit in. Accuracy, vertical and horizontal.
Yes.
When you're using true RTK, the accuracy will be the same. Virtual, it can exceed 10 centimeters. Sometimes I'm Trevor. I don't know if your test results had vertical in them, but
you do. Yeah, historically, what we've seen, just kind of a rule of thumb, it's like 1.5 times your horizontal accuracy. But what we've seen with the 0.1 is actually lower than that. But I would have to look at the horizontal accuracy results. But it aligns with what you said as well.
Yeah, we can send out some documentation on our KB with the test results baseline.
Here's a good one for you, Chris. I'd like to know more about the 0.1 network versus other RTK networks. What are some of the benefits of 0.1 versus others? For example, will the Spire only work with the 0.1 network or perform better for one reason or another?
Well, I think we can both answer this. Compared to other providers, consistency of the network, density of our network, the redundancy. We have a plan to go down to 40 kilometers average baseline east of the Mississippi. The API is a true differentiator. Support. We take an approach where we consult with each customer to get their use case in our heads and provide the best recommendations for these types of integrations or embedding of RTK. Trevor, on your side, I think there was part of that question was, can you use other RTK providers from within that dropdown?
Oh, yeah. So that's a good question. So yes. So within that dropdown, you can configure, if you have some other RTK network you're using or that's available to you, you can configure that RTK network just like you could in the past and save a profile. That's it's just that would be more of the legacy traditional way to set it up. What we've kind of demonstrated here is that we just sort of embedded the Juniper RTK network into Uinta and Juniper Connect. You can still use some other RTK network. You just have to go to kind of the kind of challenge pain points that we talked about before, setting it up, determining which network is best for you. And that's where we, but yes, you can choose from that drop down and create a different profile for a different RTK network if you have that available to you and are willing to kind of go through those other steps. So yeah, for sure.
I'll also add on that our network is fully owned and operated by us. So we design, manufacture, and deploy all the base stations, and we monitor daily. So you're going to get a level of service and reliability that you probably won't find anywhere else. And we also are one of the few folks who publish our coverage map, so you can really see where you're getting that 1 to 3 centimeter accuracy.
Yeah, good point.
Awesome. Well, I think there's a ton more questions. I really want to encourage everyone to reach out to us. I'm going to drop in an email where you can reach out to Point One, and then Michelle over from the Juniper System side will also drop a contact email, and we will also follow up with everyone after the webinar with the recording to make sure that you have access to this information. But please reach out. We love hearing questions and use cases, and also really want to say thank you for joining us today and taking the time to talk about this really new and exciting both hardware and RTK corrections and mapping bundle. So and also thank you to Chris and Trevor for taking us through that and educating us.
Yeah, thank you, Don. Thanks everybody for joining this webinar, and thanks to the Juniper Systems teams also for helping us get this all together. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good day.
Thanks, Trevor. Thanks, Don.
All right, happy Wednesday. Thanks, everybody.